Hello and welcome back to more gaming with me, Gary. I've got a little bit of a cold, so do forgive me if I've got a little bit of sniffles. No, it's not the lurgy, it's not the COVID-19 thing. I've tested negative for that, so that's fine. It might even be hay fever. We've had sun on and off a little bit here, so it might have something to do with that. Anyway, what's this video about? This is kind of like slightly off spec for me. And the reason it's off spec is because I've not long finished my American Civil War Confederate roundup, which is a very eclectic roundup because nothing's actually finished. There's no finished units. But what I did was, after I'd done that, I was about to go on to a new project, which I will do. And there's something else I want to do talk about as well, which I'll mention in this video. But I got a comment from which was I always go back and just check that before I finish it, finish the roundup. I've checked everything that I need to check, and there was one comment there from Raymond Ott Jr. I think Ott might be shortened for something. Maybe it's O-T-T, so it's Raymond Ott Jr. And his comment points out that he's in the reenactment group, 4th Kentucky Regiment, and he suggested I go and have a look on the website, and I mean, and there's some lovely. I mean, he's left some nice comments. It's very nice. So I went on his website, and it turns out that the 4th Kentucky Regiment are actually a Union regiment, or at least where's the reenactment group he's worked with it's a Union regiment. And I've looked, they've clearly done an awful lot of research. There's on their history page, there's a lot of how they gathered the information, and Raymond actually sent me, he didn't actually send me the letters, but there are some, what is it they call it? There are some collector's documents which were brought over to England, which support their group, that the 4th Kentucky Regiment were a Union regiment. However, I then went onto the website where I originally got my uniform from. That's where I got the information from. And I know the website isn't, I mean, the internet isn't, it's not 100% reliable. You know, sometimes it's really, really good, but sometimes it's not as reliable. And it was really hard to find what I was looking for anyway. So what I did do is I went to Osprey. Always go to Osprey and when it falls back. Lo and behold, they've also got an illustration of the 4th Kentucky Regiment, the sergeant in the 4th Kentucky Regiment. This chap here. As you can see, he's got a grey uniform and he's in the Osprey Confederate book, which puts me in a bit of a dilemma because I have no reason not to trust Raymond's group because they've clearly done a lot of research, but also the Osprey books, they're like the Bible of military uniforms as far as I'm aware. So what do I do? I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold fire for a while before I paint any more figures. I need to find an appropriate group of figures anyway. I don't think Perry's going to do it and not unless I start all over again, which probably, I mean, I could do. I mean, Perry's plastics, well, what I found was I've got some Napoleonics from Perry recently, and putting them up against the Renegade figures. Renegade tower over them, they're like giants. So I'm not going to, it's unlikely that I'm going to mix them up. The alternative would be to look for another group, another supplier who provides slightly larger figures. Anyway, I digress. But I am going to put a hold on it until I can get some more up-to-date information on the 4th Kentucky Regiment. Now my thinking is this, that civil wars split nations, they split towns and they split villages, as was the case in the English Civil War. And my thinking is that the same happened in America, in the United States, or what was the United States then. And maybe there was the 4th Kentucky Regiment for the North, fighting for the North, and a 4th Kentucky Regiment fighting for the South. I mean, it kind of makes sense, because Raymond's group are obviously a very reliable group, because they've done an awful lot of research, much more than I've done. But also I've got the Osprey book, so it's a little bit tricky. So because of that, I'm going to put a hold on it. But what I was going to say, until I can get hold, I need to do some serious American Civil War uniform research. So if anybody knows, really, and I'm looking specifically for 1861, so if anybody knows of some really good books or websites which are reliable, or reenactment groups, reenactment groups who maybe there's a reenactment group who do the Confederate 4th Kentucky Regiment, and then that way it'll give me that balance of knowing, like what colours I need to be painting and what the figures need to look like as well. I've also dropped some eclectic messages to various people, Brian and Victor and Rusty, and half a dozen others, Americans of course, because of course they live in America, so my very small brain thinks, well, they must know everything about the American Civil War. Yeah, like I know everything about the English Civil War. Anyway, if anybody can help me on this, I would be really, really grateful, particularly on finding books which would be helpful. If anyone's been to various battlefield museums and they've got pamphlets, maybe there's a mention in there. If somebody lives in Kentucky and there's a museum which specifically talks about the Kentucky regiments, anything people can help me with would be really, really appreciated. Now, I've gone on for nearly 8 minutes now, so I don't want this to go on any longer. I've explained why I've done this and not gone into my project, because I think this is important. Although I'm not doing the American Civil War now at the moment, I will be collecting these figures, and I need to be, and also I need to collect the paints to paint these figures as well. So if anybody could give me some good advice on where to find this information, or books which would be, so where to find this information on the internet, or what books would be really, really helpful to help me clarify what I really need to know. So that's that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another video shortly. I'll change my shirt to pretend that it's the following week, because I'm a very clever man. Very devious man, my wife says. Anyway, and this is going to be about my cave, man cave. I did it again. I do it every time. Man cave. Yeah. So I'm gonna quickly bang out a video for that as well, just to let people know where I'm at the moment. So thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. I'm going, when I start my new project, I'm going to split that project in half a little bit, because I've been getting some new subscribers, and I've also people that I've been looking at myself, which are that some of them have only just started, or some of them have been doing it for a little while, and they've got some really good content, but for whatever reason they're not getting the subs that they deserve. I'm going to split that in half so I can do some videos of that, and just help people, find other videos which they might be interested in. So that's me done. I wish you all the very best. Stay safe. We still have to be careful. So, and I wish you all the very best. Have a good time, and if you're drinking beer, have one on me. All the best, guys. Take care. Bye bye.